Today we will be ranking all 60 heroes on EAFC 24 Ultimate Team. We did the icon tier list a few days ago now, and I thought, hey, it's now time to do the heroes. There's 60 of them compared to the 105 of the icons there are. Now there's quite a few new heroes in the game as well, so I am going to have my foot bin open. We're going to flick on over to that when we get a player that I am not familiar with. We'll be looking at play styles as always, depending on their position, to decide what tier we put them in. Speaking of which, we have got, this time we've got 6 tiers, alright? We've added another tier. We've got elite at the top, very good just behind, with good basically in the middle, alongside with average. We've now added a not good but fun tier for heroes that I don't think will be necessarily meta or good, but you could have some fun about them. And then last but not least, as always, we have got the avoid tier. Let's just get started, get straight into it. Let me know down below as well what you agree, disagree with. I'd like to say last year's hero list that we did, let's just say it didn't go to plan. I did put Saeed Owairan in not meta but fun, because when I was looking at him, he didn't look great. We all know how that turned out. And I also put Captivila in avoid, and he ended up being one of the best left backs in the game. So let's hope we can do a little bit better this year. I've had lots of time, I say lots of time, we've played 10-15 hours worth of EAFC. I kind of know what the meta is, how the game works, what players will be good. So without further ado, boys, let's get started. Now I've got Rui Costa, who has been downgraded from an icon to a hero, along with Litmanen, who will also be on the list. Rui Costa doesn't look awful by any means, but he definitely doesn't look very good or elite, so we'll put him into the good tier. Next up, we have got Di Natale, who for me is going into the elite tier. I think this striker last year, this year as well, 5-star weak foot is so important, so unpredictable in the box, along with his good dribbling stats. Left stick dribbling, another very important thing to have along. As I said, 5-star weak foot, left stick dribbling, beautiful. Next up is Mascherano, who can play as a CDM or a centre back, I believe, depending on where you want to use him. I think it might be a little bit too small for a centre back, and you can definitely make that debate. But as a CDM, he does look quite good. Maybe you start him as a CDM when you're maybe just balanced or attacking, and then move him down to centre back when you are defending in a 5-back or something. I think he is a good hero. Mario Gomez as well, I think is going to be a good hero. I think this year, I do think the smaller, more agile players are actually going to be more meta this year, because obviously the lengthy accelerate type, we've still got all of the explosive accelerate types, but just not quite as overpowered as they were at the start of last game, when you'd have people rocking Ruben Diaz, Gold Harry Kane. It's not like that this year. I'm going to put Mario Gomez in a good tier. As well, Di Natale does have that finesse shot powers play style plus, which is amazing. Next up, I'm going to butcher this. I've got his name here. Ludovic Giuly. I've probably absolutely butchered this. He's a new hero. He's a right mid. He is a winger. He honestly doesn't scream insane. We're 3 days into the game. He's already 112k, so I don't see him being too expensive down the line into the game. I think we'll put him into, he is 4-star, 4-star, he's got nice play styles. We'll put him into the average. I feel like he looks like an average winger. Sure, he could probably, I think with him, right, I think he's good compared to some gold wingers, but compared to the heroes, I think we'll put him into the average tier, alright? Clint Dempsey, next up for me. I'm going to go ahead and, honestly, I would put him into the not good but fun. If you are maybe American, I believe he played for Sounders, if you're a Sounders fan, something like that. And I guess fun is perspective for everyone. But if you're not a fan of the club that he played for, if you're not from America, I feel like he's going to be a hero that you want to avoid. Next up is Coit. I actually like Coit quite a lot. He's got 70 defending. The rest of his stats look really nice. If you put a shadow on him, I think he'll be an absolutely exceptional box to box. I'm going to go ahead. I'll put him at the high end of a good tier, with Cordoba going into the very good tier. He's a little bit on the smaller side, so he may get outstrength defensively. He may not win all the headers. He can also play as a right back, I believe, but he's still fast. He's got pace, which is a centre back. Pace is important, especially this year. I think Cordoba is going in to the very good tier. Joining him will be Vola. I remember I got this man's World Cup at the beginning of last FIFA, and I was in love with him. He's only got 3-star, I think it's 3-star skills. He's got 3-star skills, I think, and then 4-star weak foot, which can be a little bit annoying. He'll be quite predictable in the box. You can't do some very, very crucial skill moves this year that does require 4-star, but he's a bagsman. He's fast. His body build mixed with how he feels on the ball, I love it. Vola is going into the very good tier. Pepin, on the other hand, I'm going to put him into the, honestly, I'll put him into the good, You might debate the high tier of average as well. I'll put him at the high tier of average. You know, after a VAR review, I'll put him at the low end of good because he does have the playstyle plus for power shot, which is really nice. I'm still happy keeping this man, Ludovic, I think his name is. I'm happy keeping him in average because he just looks kind of average. He doesn't have any playstyle pluses as well. Betty Pele for me, going into the highest end of the very good. I feel like he's so close to elite. Once again, I have no problem if you do want to put him into the elite tier or debate put him in the elite tier. But for me, he's going at the very top of very good. I used this man's normal hero card for a long time last FIFA and I loved him. Next up is Al Jaber. I'm going to go ahead and put him into the not good but fun, especially if you're from Saudi Arabia. I don't think the striker is necessarily good, hence the not good, but I do think he is fun because he has got the finesse shot playstyle plus. He is only 3-star. As I said, I think he'll be fun. And the reason I don't have Dempsey in the not good but fun is simply he's got no playstyle pluses, and I feel like any hero with good or respectable playstyle pluses will be in the at least not good but fun, because at least they'll have a quote-unquote fun aspect about them. Marquisio for me is going to the high end of very good, along with Abedi Pele. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, just average, isn't he? Ramires, I feel like Ramires this year, ladies and gentlemen, he's going to be so good. I don't know if I can put him in elite though, but we're going to put him once again at the very top of very good. I know we'll have people saying to put Ramires into the elite tier, but for me, he's got no playstyle pluses and he's also got high work rates. As a box-to-box, that's perfect, but if you're wanting to use him as a CDM, which in my opinion, his stats look like you'd play best as a CDM, you really want medium high. You don't really want high attacking as a stay back. So I think along with work rates and no playstyle pluses, I feel like that's just stopping him from being in the elite tier. Campos, or Ocampos, I think his name is going into a void. He's a 5'7" goalkeeper. I know you can put him at striker and have some quote-unquote fun with him, but I feel like we have to put him into the avoid tier because there's going to be lots of strikers that are better than him. You don't want to have a short goalkeeper. He's really got no use other than if you want to have fun, which is, I guess you could debate he's a not good but fun tier, right? But I feel like him being 5'7" and just average as a striker with his weak foot and skill moves just overrides that, and I feel like we just got to put him into a void. Finally, we've got two heroes, coming up that will be joining Di Natale in the elite tier. Yaya Toure, David Ginola, need I say more? Elite. Paulo Futre, who is also a new hero. Now, his dribbling stats look incredible. He's fast, he's 4-star skills, but only a 3-star weak foot. He's got great play styles. For me, he's going into the very good tier. It's a shame that he's not 4-star. If he was 4-star, you'd make a case for elite, but he looks very good. Next up is Nadine Kibler. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Now, with an anchor, she will be hooligan. She's got high attacking work rates, medium defensive, which is unfortunate because I feel like she'd look really good to be a central defensive midfielder, but she does look good, and I'm going to go ahead, put her with her German counterpart, Mario Gomez. Alex Scott is a right back. With an anchor, she looks okay, but I feel like she's lacking that wow factor that would make her a very good, even a good tier. We're going to put her into the average. I think she looks like an average right back. I mean, yeah, that's all you can say, really. Next up is Vialli, I believe it is, who is also a new hero, and I'm going to show you guys what he looks like in game. I'm not going to lie, I was surprised to see his price tag of 130k. He has only got 3-star skills. He's got the acrobatic playstyle plus with a power shot, power header, and relentless normal playstyles. His balance is nothing crazy. I honestly think he's screaming out for an engine. It will make him controlled, explosive, and in-game he will have these stats right here. I think he looks solid. It once again is unfortunate he's not got the better skill moves because there's some very important 4-star skills to do. I don't dislike the card. I think he looks good, debatably very good. But the thing is though, I don't think I'd put him on the same level as Voller. I'll put him at the highest end of good. I think that's fair. Nakata, average. He's not bad by any means, he's just average. Company up next for me. Is it elite? Is it very good? I put him into elite for the Premier League centre-backs video, and comparing to Premier League centre-backs, I think he's an elite Premier League centre-back, but do I think he's an elite hero? Does he belong on the same tier as Ginola, Di Natale, and Yaya Toure? He's got 74 acceleration, I believe, so get a shadow on him, get his pace as high as it can be, And it takes one look at his playstyles to realise he's got everything that's needed to be an elite centre-back. He's joining the elite tier with the big boys. Capdevila, I wonder if this year he'll be as good as he was last year. Assuming he is, we'll put him into the lower tier of very good. I think what made him so good last year is the fact his body build. He's like 5'11" or 6 foot, I think, but he's got such like a big, strong body build. He's great defensively, but also running forward on that overlap. He's like your dream left back. It's either low end very good or the top tier of good. Capdevila last year, as I said, was phenomenal. I think this year though, he's missing some playstyle pluses. I still think he'll be good, and I will put him into the good tier. If it was last year, I would have put him into the very good, but we will put him into the good tier. Collar definitely on the lower side, there we go, lower side for pace. We got there in the end. He's got 67 sprint speed or acceleration, I can't remember which one, definitely on the slower side. He's got the block power style plus, play style, been talking too much. He's got the block play style plus, which is very good, but as I said, he is a little bit slow. We'll put him into the average tier. I think if you use him correctly, you'd want to pair him with a much quicker, more agile centre-back. Milito, for me, just looks average. He looks average. Park Ji-sung, on the other hand, I'm going to go ahead and put into the high end of good. But one thing that's annoying about him is the fact that his best position, in my opinion, is a centre mid, a box to box, but he can't play as a centre mid. He's a right mid or a left mid, and it is so infuriating. I think he might be able to play cam as well, I'm not sure, but he can play all of the positions, but not the position where he's best at in game. So you'll have to use him right mid, left mid, change him to centre mid in game. I think he's a good card. Lucio, going into the elite tier alongside his centre-back pal, Vincent Kompany. Forlan for me, 4-star. He's got the, I'm pretty sure, the power shot playstyle plus. For me, I'm going to put him at the bottom of very good alongside with Vola. Now, Saeed Owairan, we're going to put at the highest point of very good. Maybe an unpopular opinion. People will be saying, put him into elite. We know how good he was last year. But the reason I'm not putting him into elite is he doesn't have playstyle pluses. And playstyle pluses, you guys will realize when you get in game, players with the playstyle plus, anything, right, whether it's a finesse, something like that, they will just perform so much better. And he's got playstyles, just no playstyle pluses, which I feel like he needs them to be considered elite, if you get what I mean. But nonetheless, he's fast. He's Saeed Owairan. He's still going to be very good. He's currently 500k, which I do feel like is personally a little bit too expensive for him, but still very, very good. Next up is Brolin, who, although has got a 3-star weak foot, I usually like him on this game. I'll put him at the high end of good. I don't think he screams anything that's crazy to put him on the same tier with the likes of Forlan, Vola, but I will have him in the good tier. Giuly has got the power shot playstyle plus as well. It seems like everyone's got it at this point. He's got 3-star weak foot, which is underwhelming, but other than that, he does look very good, so I will be putting him at the bottom end of the very good tier. Marquez, once again, it looks good. He was very meta last year, specifically with that lengthy playstyle meta, or not playstyle, the accelerate type is what it was called, right? But once again, that's still important this year, don't get me wrong. But I don't think it's going to be as crucial as it was at the beginning of last year, because lengthy was so broken for the first 2-3 months of the last game, and that's when Marquez was at his best. Therefore, I think good. The high end of good is a fair tier for him. Smolarek being 3-star is actually so annoying, but other than that, he looks good. He's got a press proven playstyle plus, which is a bit new for attackers. But 3-star is really annoying for him, man. I'll put him into the very high end of good. Look, you can debate very good, but I feel like that 3-star could be a killer, man. He's not even got 4-star skills or 4-star weak foot. He's just 3-star in both. Joe Cole, on the other hand, is 4-star, very similar to Giuly, I feel like at the lower end of very good. Now, next up, I'm hoping I don't butcher his name. Is it Mick? It's Mick something. Mick Manaman, I believe it is. Now, I know you guys can't really see their faces now. You can kind of just see the top of their heads. But so I will say the player before we click on him. But Mick Manaman, which is an interesting name. I don't think he looks bad. I'll put him into the lower end of good, maybe the upper tier of average as well, you could debate. But I think he looks okay. Probably want a Hunter Chem style on him as a right mid, a winger in general would be quite nice. He's got some nice alt positions. He's got some nice play styles. I don't mind him. Wesley Sneijder is up next, a new hero once again. He looks very good. I don't know if I can put him in elite though. I don't know. I'm going to have him at the highest end, the highest end of very good. His defending stats are obviously not great at all. I believe he's got 53 defending, and I was going to say, like, as a box-to-box centre mid, he'd be so nice. He's got 4-star skills, 5-star weak foot, 4-star, 5 stars nuts. I mean, maybe like a hunter and a cam, maybe, or maybe even a hunter and use him as like a number 8 and attacking, get forward centre mid. Do I put him into elite? Honestly, lads, I do not mind whatsoever if you want to put him in elite. That is a debate to be had. I think for now, I'm going to keep him at the highest tier of very good and ever so close to elite. I'm happy with that right now. Next up is Carlos Tevez, who I think will be joining him as well at the very high end of very good. He's got 3-star weak foot, which is a little bit annoying. 4-star, 3-star. If he's 4-star, 4-star, I'd probably be putting him into elite. Next up, I believe it's pronounced Riise. I'm pretty sure it's just like Riise. I think it might be Riise. But he looks okay. I think he's a similar case to Capdevila. In fact, I think he is very similar to Capdevila, just a Premier League version. His stats don't actually look great in game. I think he's 6'1" or 6'2". His agility and balance isn't great, but as a defensive left back, he'll be great defensively. He's got the height, he's got the physical presence, but I also think he's good enough to get forward a little bit on the overlap. And I think he's similar to Capdevila. We'll put him into the good tier. And I feel like just maybe looks a little bit worse, so we'll put him to the towards the lower end of a good tier, but nonetheless still in the good tier. Next up is Sonia Bompastor, a new female hero. Now, she is a French left back whose stats also look a little bit average like Riise, but the difference is he's 6'2", she's only 5'4". Defensively, I mean, she's not going to win much headers. She's not the strongest, 64 strength. I'll put her into average. Berbatov, who is next up, honestly, I feel like he's a little bit hard done by, you know. I think he should be into the very good, pushing elite tier. But I think he's been a little bit hard done by EA. I'll put him into the high end of good. No, well, you know, we'll put him into the very good, but definitely the lower end. I feel like he should be towards the higher end with like Tevez and Schneider, so on, but he's been shafted a bit. In fact, after having a double look at him, lads, I'm sorry, but I just can't help but drop him down to the good tier. He really has been shafted. 4-star, 3-star. He's got average pace for me. He's just good. Next up, Robbie Keane. Now, Robbie Keane for me will be going into the very good tier. Small, agile, left stick dribbling. I believe 4-star, 4-star. Always very nice on this game. Ricardo Carvalho as well. I'll be putting to the high end of good. Now, this is a new hero here. I believe Beasley might be his name. If we take a look at him, right, he's got good pace, average shooting, average passing, good dribbling. Physical, it's okay. 3-star, 4-star. He's got no crazy playstyles. As a left mid, I'd be putting him in average. Honestly, I'd be putting him in average. But if you put an anchor on him, suddenly, as an overlapping fullback, an overlapping left back, I'd say he's good. The one awkward thing about that though is these medium-high work rates. I'll put him into the average tier. If he had like high-medium as an overlapping fullback, he'd be good. But it's like he's really attacking-minded left back, but then he's got really defensive-minded work rate. So it's really like kind of, they collide with each other, if you will. I'm not a big fan of that. We'll put him into the average. Could debate low tier of good. Next up is Govu. I'll put into the good tier alongside Berbatov. We'll put him just behind Berbatov and Smolarek. Next up is Dudek, who I'm actually underwhelmed with. He's a little bit short for a keeper. He's got no play styles. None. No play styles at all. I mean, to avoid controversy, we won't put him in a void because keepers are keepers. They could be nuts. We'll just put him into the average tier. We'll kind of, you know, the lower end of the average tier. Average height. No play styles, seems pretty average to me. Deadly King will put into the good tier. I think he looks good is the best way to describe it. He just looks solid. Peter Crouch, I feel like the not good but fun tier is simply just made for Peter Crouch. Next up is Cahill and Ricken. For me, they're both going into a void. I think Cahill just doesn't look crazy. Simple. Ricken as well just looks very bad. Like, I feel like they're heroes that, sure, comparing them to other Premier League players, like I put Cahill into the Premier League midfielders one. I think I put him into good, might have even put him into very good, because he can play as a 10, he could play as an attacking minded centre mid, but all in all, compared to other heroes, I think he'd be one that you'd want to avoid. You can't tell me, unless you're Australian, that you open up a guaranteed hero pack, you've submitted 100,000 coins, whatever, right? You've submitted an SBC, and you get Cahill or Ricken. You can't tell me that you wouldn't want to avoid them. A newly added hero, his name is, gonna butcher this, Lizarazu. I've probably butchered that, apologies if I have. He's a left back and he actually looks very good. In fact, he looks a tier above Capdevila. definitely a tier above Riise. I think in a very good tier is fair for him. He's 5'7" on the shorter side. He's got 91 balance though, which is nice. Only 77 agility, but for me, all the other stats look like a very good left back. Morientes, I think, is going into the very good tier. With Litmanen, he'll go into the good tier. You know what? I feel like both icons, both him and Rui Costa, they can be together once again. Like they were last year as icons, they can be together in the good tier as heroes. Now, Kanu, or Kanu, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, might be Kanu. Now, as an invincible, as an Arsenal fan myself, he's an invincible. I love him, obviously. But the thing is, though, he's not going to be good. So we'll put him into the not good, but the reason he's going into fun is because he's 6'5". He's like a little Peter Crouch 2.0. I think Peter Crouch was what, 6'8", maybe 6'7". So we'll put him into the not good but fun tier as well. Okocha is going into the very good tier right at the top. I feel like with some more stamina, you could debate elite. Freddie Ljungberg, another invincible. We'll be going ahead and we'll be putting him in the higher end of good. I think he looks like a good Premier League winger, but he just doesn't blow me away, and in my opinion, I think I'll take everyone in the very good tier over Freddie Ljungberg, in my opinion. Landon Donovan up next. I don't know, it's a tricky one. You know what, one change I will make, actually, I'll drop Freddie down to average. I feel like it'd be unfair to have him in the same tier. I can't quite remember this guy's name, but they both look kind of similar, just average, right? Now, Landon Donovan, I am going to put into the good tier. I think as a starting striker, like, he gets full chem automatically because he's a hero, so you don't have to really worry about his links. Sure, he doesn't really offer crazy links with America MLS, but still, he looks solid. He's currently coming in at 120k. Next up is Mostovoy, who I'll be putting into the average tier, and ending it with another Arsenal hero, being Rosicky. Now, Rosicky, he doesn't look insane, but he does look good, and he will be going in to the good tier. Now, before I'm happy with my tier list, I do want to make some changes, right? Now, I do have Giuly, hopefully I'm pronouncing that somewhat correctly, in the average tier with Freddie, but I feel like I can't have McManaman in a tier above him. I mean, Giuly, after having a double check, he is 5'5", so very short, but 93 balance. I think you really do need a hunter on him. I still don't think he's crazy by any means, but he's definitely on the same tier as McManaman, and in my opinion, a level above Freddie. So I'm going to keep Freddie in the average tier, and I'm going to bump up Mr. Giuly into the same tier. Once again, I feel like I'm butchering that, in the same tier as McManaman. Now, I'm pretty happy with this tier, the 5 elite heroes being Ginola, Torre, Di Natale, and Lucio, along with Vincent Kompany. We've got the very good heroes like Okocha, Tevez, Schneider at the very top with Saeed Owairan, going down to the very good heroes, but not so much in the higher tier like Morientes, Joe Cole, Kjell. You have got Vola below my webcam, who I think is very good. You guys can see the full good tier. The average tier I'm happy with, not good but fun. You've got 2 very tall players, Algebir, with I believe was it the power shot playstyle plus. Then you've got your 4 avoid heroes. I'm pretty happy with this tier list. Lads, let me know if you guys agree with it, disagree with it. I will remove my webcam so you guys can see the full thing now. Let me know what you guys think about this tier list down below, but I'm actually pretty confident in this. I think with the meta of this game, I like it quite a lot. Play styles playing a massive part. Left stick dribbling for attackers is very important this year. I like it. I'm pretty happy with this. Let me know what changes you'd make, and until the next one, I'll see you boys later. Peace out.